Hello guys, welcome back to Arcane Duelist. Today I'll be introducing this Radiant Typhoon deck, which I have been playing quite a bit recently, and I've joined two different events over the past weekend, which both events I have made X1 result. So without further ado, I'll just introduce you the deck profile that I have used. We will start with the main deck monster. I'll be playing one piece of this Megala. Megala is the card that can special summon monster from your deck, Radiant Typhoon monster, after you activate a MST or a Radiant Typhoon spell card. Keep in mind, this card, you can only use its effect after using MST or Radiant Typhoon quick play. Any other quick plays like call by and all that, you can't actually activate this. Okay. So we'll be playing one piece of this Phoenix. Phoenix is the boss monster for this deck. For this card, you can actually, this and this Varurun, both of these can actually special summon twice per turn. From hand, when you activate any of the quick play, you can special summon from hand. While it's in the grave, you can actually special summon it back after you activate MST. So for Phoenix, when it's on the field, if you activate a quick play follow-up, you can use this effect to bounce two cards from your opponent's field into the deck. So this is the big monster, the boss monster for this deck. It's at 3k attack, so we play one piece of this. Then next, Varurun is the card where you can negate monster effect while you have MST in your graveyard. So next, these are the starters. So you have three pieces of this Eldem, which you can search for ST or their own Radiant Typhoon monsters. While for Sven, you can search for any of the spell or MST. So be reminded that all these monsters, these small monsters, level 3 monsters, they can actually special summon without activating a chain. So it's like Rizel. So the next one is this Crossair. You will definitely want to play 3 because whenever you activate a quick play, you can special summon this Crossair and search for one of his Radiant Typhoon card and one MST. Also bear in mind that this card you can actually pick up cards from the graveyard as well. So your opponent can actually go spell on this. So these are the Radiant Typhoon cards. Next, we'll be talking about the hand traps. I'll be playing only one Sheena in this main deck because Sheena has a very good synergy with all these wind types, but having too many of it in hand actually might actually affect my consistency going first. So I would like to reduce this to one only in the main deck. So the effect is whenever your opponent activates a monster or spell or trap, you can actually chain this when you have a wind type monster on the field. You can special summon this. Then if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can bounce all the monster from the field to the hand and special summon this. While if your opponent activates a spell or trap, you can actually bounce all the spell or trap to the hand. So it's a very good card. Imagine you are playing against like Audion. Whenever they activate a trap card, you can actually bounce all their traps to the hand. And when you are playing against VS K9, you can actually bounce all the monsters when they are trying to build their board. So it's a very good card, a very good hand trap, but I'm only playing one in the main deck for now. So one piece of this. Definitely in AE format, 2 Maxi. Then 2 Dro and 3 Fualos. If you're asking me why I'm playing all these hand traps instead of other hand traps, mainly because Maxi, definitely yes, because it's a draw power, but all these other hand traps, because they are also in wind types, which you can help to trigger Sheena, also allows you to draw and allows you to stop your opponent. So these are all the hand traps and monsters. So moving on, we'll go into the spell cards. For this deck, definitely MST at 3 because MST negates in this deck. So MST at 3, then Mandate at 1. Mandate is the card where you can negate your opponent using MST. So let's say you have Mandate on the field, you activate MST. If your opponent has no chain, you can Mandate, target one card and negates it. So this is what MST negates does lah. So you definitely want to play one piece of this, because this is also the card for you to recycle all the quick play and draw one. So one piece of this, then one piece of this Radiant Typhoon Ascendance. This one allows you to special summon from the grave, while also allows you to pick up a MST. So all these spell cards, you actually have to declare the effect that you want to use whenever you activate it. So your opponent knows you want to do special summon or you want to pick up the MST. All these Radiant Typhoon spells, they allow to pick up MST from grave or in the deck as well. So make sure you announce your effect properly. Also, when all these Radiant Typhoon spells or traps, when they are being destroyed by MST, you can actually just chain its effect to set back onto the field. So at times you want them to come back like Ascendance, you want to get back it after activating it. So you might actually want to chain your MST to this Ascendance. So one piece of this Ascendance. Then next is this Chan. Chan, you definitely have to play 3 because Chan is the starter like the Eldom and Sven. So you can use this Chan to pick up the Eldom and Sven from the deck to further proceed with your combo. So also another effect is to add MST lah. So be reminded all their effects, they have 2 effects. So next is Vision. Vision is the card where it's not only seen in this Radiant Typhoon deck, you can also see this in Sky Striker, where they use it to draw 2 and dump 1 quick play or 1 Radiant Typhoon card. So it's a very good addition for you to pick up more cards from your deck. So at times, depending on your hands, you want to activate this at the start, or at times you want to pick up some other cards other than your starters. You might actually want to activate this during the near to your ending of your combo lah. So you'll definitely play 3 of these. So next, I'll play 2 pieces of this called By, because as you can see, there are a lot of draws, a lot of maxi, as compared to OCG scene where the maxi and draw is only at 1, but in AE there's like two of each, and also 2 Ash Blossom. So you definitely have to play 2 of these. Next, I have 2 pieces of this Droplet, because VSK9 is still a deck in AE format, whereby they can just perform a lot of stuff during your turn when you try to set up. So I definitely play 2 pieces of this Droplet. Next, I'll play 3 pieces of this, the Fallen and the Virtuous, because you can chain to anything lah, like opponent just special summon K9 or anything, you can just destroy them anytime. Also, when you are playing some anti-meta deck where they activate a lot of cards like Anti-Spell Fragrance, because it's also at 3 in AE formats, Skill Drain, all the Floodgates that actually stays on the field. So this card can help you remove, other than just having this MST for you, you have like 6 chances to get this. So I'll definitely play 3 of these. Also, you can just send, later on I'll talk about the monster that you send, so you'll just send and set back another one, so that's why you need more of this. The last 2 cards for this main deck will be this Crown, because for Crown is very important, because when you are playing against decks like VSK9, when you go first, you set this. When they try to summon, you can just Crown on their summon, because this will likely make them lose their momentum, because their summon monster, normal summon monster, has no effect and can't go into any link or any other forms of extra deck monsters, so potentially stopping your opponent from doing further combo. Also, for decks like VSK9 and all that, they likely have less spells to chain to you, so this is a very great card when you are trying to play against deck like this. So I played 2 of these. So this is about the main deck. As of the extra deck, okay, we'll be playing 1 piece of this Ecclesia because it's a target where you can send with the Fallen and the Witches. So how you use this is, the first time you use, you'll be sending this Albion into the grave. Then at the end of the turn, Albion will actually set you the Fallen and the Witches. For the second time it activates, you can actually send this Ecclesia. So later on, when it's your turn, you can activate this Ecclesia effect to shuffle back Ecclesia, the Albion, and 1 card of your opponents on the field to the deck. So this will just recycle it, and also when you use this mandate to recycle back your virtues, the Fallen and the Virtues, you can actually reuse it over and over again. So you have to play 1 of each for the Fallen and the Virtues. Next, I'll be playing 1 piece of this Typhoon because at times, really, you have no choice. You really have to do this. So next, I'll have this Zeus because you can go into these 2 rank 3 when you are playing this deck. Like when you start with Eldam, you go into Sven, then you can actually go into either one of these rank 3, hit onto your opponent, and you can actually go into Zeus to clear off the board. So that's how I choose to use this. Next, Totem Bird and 75. These 2 cards will definitely be the MVP for the whole deck because you got a lot of level 3 while you are trying to do your combo. So you can actually go into Totem Bird to lock decks that activates a lot of spell or traps. While if your opponent is playing a lot of monster effects, you can actually go into this number 75 as well. So depending on the matchup. Next, actually I don't want to play this, but in AE there are no better link 3 for this deck when you are trying to clear off monsters from your board to reduce the number. So there's no choice, so we go into 1 of these CMOD. Next, SP Little Knight for you to banish when you really need it, so no explanation needed. Next will be this Radiant Typhoon Maroon, the Marine Eidolon. So this is the card that actually makes this deck viable after the release of Burst Protocol. So what this card does is, when you special summon, you can actually search for 1 MST. So other than that, when you activate another spell, quick play spell, you can set Mandate face up on the field straight away after the quick play resolved. So you have a new chain to set it. Then you can just straight away use the Mandate effect if you want. So other than that, this card has another effect which quite a lot of people do not know, where you can actually target 1 card on the field and 1 card on your opponent's field and set both to the spell or trap zone. So at times when you are playing against certain decks where you know they have their key piece at 1, you can actually use this to push them to the spell or trap zone. So we play 2 of these. Also, this card can be recycled by using the Crossair. You can actually pick up this from the graveyard and just go back into the extra deck. So next we'll have 1 piece of this Wind Charmer, where you will use this to play against like Mirror. So Mirror, your opponent stop everything you do, so you just go into this Wind Charmer to get whatever you need from their graveyard, like Crossair and all that, to use the effect. So 1 piece of this. The remaining will be the Super Poly target in as you can see, I don't play Super Poly in the main deck, but I will just play in the side deck. So you still need all these to do some match coverage, because in AE, branded Dracotail is a very popular pick. That because last ban list there's actually no touches on that deck, where it's at full power, 3 branded fusion, 3 Rahu, 1 Ketu. So with the release of the burst protocol, where branded Dracotail is getting better and better, so we'll need to cover this game quite a bit. So first of all, the target for Super Poly, when they have a spellcaster and a dragon monster, most of the time when they set up for their Dracotail, is definitely 1 dragon and 1 spellcaster. So 1 piece of this Secretarian dragon. So next, we'll have 1 piece of this, the dragon that devours the dogma. So how to use this basically is when you're playing against the Dracotail, they will try to special summon the Fallen Arbas to try to fuse with your monsters into whatever they need. So at that moment, if you have a Super Poly, you can actually Super Poly for this. Taking a Fallen Arbas, 1 light or dark monsters, and 1 effect monsters. So the requirement is not hard. So whenever they try to do this, you have Super Poly in hand, you can actually get through this. The last 2 will be the Mud Dragon and Garura, the usual Super Poly targets. So that's it for the extra deck. So moving on, I'll just show a bit of combo lah. So first of all, you start with this Eldam. So during the main phase, you can special summon this when you go first, because there will likely be no set card on your opponent's field. Then for Eldam, activates effect to search for this Crossair. So you can tribute summon this Eldam and activates this Crossair effect to pick up a Swan and 1 MST. So you can just special summon this Swan to pick up for 1 Chant. So over here, you go into a Link 2 Warurun, where you can pick up 1 more MST from the deck. So pick up 1 more MST from the deck. So over here, I activate a Chant to search for this Megala. Then I can activate this effect to face up this Mandate. So over here, the setup is quite done, because first you are using only 1 card, but you are already gaining another 3 cards while you have another 4 cards in hand. So whether to proceed or not will be depending on what you have in your hand and all that. So next, you can actually follow up with special summoning this Megala. Then you can activate this MST to actually destroy this. While you destroy this, you can chain 1 Megala while you chain 2 Mandate to set back, because if it's destroyed by MST, you can actually set back to the field to actually block this Megala from getting Urara from your Ash Blossom from your opponent. So you can actually just use this, chain 1, chain 2, so chain 2. So your chain 1 can go into this Vortex, where you can actually negate while you have this MST in hand. So overall, you're using only 1 card while you have 4 cards in hand, so and 1 MST extra to perform this whole combo lah. So over here, we have Eldam and 1 Swan in hand. So I'll start with special summoning Eldam to pick up 1 of these Crossair. Then I'll special summon this Swan to pick up 1 of this Chant. Then these 2 cards just go into Link 2 to pick up MST from the deck. So over here, I'll activate Chant to search for Megala. Then I have chain 1, asking for any response. If there's no, then I'll chain 2 Crossair. So chain 2 Crossair special summon, while Link 2 will just open up a Mandate. Then I'll have chain 1 to search for another 2 cards, which I'll search for Ascendance and 1 MST. So over here, I'll special summon a Megala. Then I'll activate this Ascendance. I'll chain MST to this Ascendance to destroy it. So over here, I'll special summon 1 from the graveyard, level 6 or below. So I'll just start to do this chain where I have Megala chain 1 and Ascendance chain 2. So these Ascendance can later on be used in the next turn. So Ascendance set chain 2 will set, while this Megala will just special summon from the deck. Special summon for this Vortex. So over here, you can actually go into Totem Bird, because you already have MST in the graveyard, where you can negate monster effect. Then you will do one Totem Bird on the field to negate spell cards. While these two cards can actually go into Simo. This can further prevent the Totem Bird from being target. Then you set one MST. So this will be a 2-card combo where you have another 3 more cards in your hand. That's it for these deck profiles to introduce you to this Radiant Typhoon deck. If you like it, please share to your friends, like and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Also, if you have questions, please do not hesitate to ask in the comments below. I will just try to answer you as much as possible. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching.